What's up with the what's up, folks? Welcome to Puny Humans platform. I am your host, True Victor, and we have some unfortunate things to discuss today. This guy DJ Academics, apparently he was having a conversation with a minor 15-year-old kid named Nord, and things kind of went south, ridiculously south. Ack drinks a lot of Henny. Not making excuses for the guy at all, but when he gets to drink and he says, what do they say nowadays? He speaks his truth. Unfortunately, so he was caught on candid camera, and from what I've heard, having some very, very, very nasty conversations with this child. Conversations that you should never have with a minor. Whatever way that you swing, a child should always be off limits. So let's check it out. Chick Smooth says Joe Budden calls out DJ Academics for inappropriate exchange with 15-year-old. So let's see what they're talking about.
YouTube chicks. Get ready. You know what to do, chicks.
So look at Chick Smooth.
Hey, Chick Smooth. Appreciate all the coverage that you've been doing. I've been watching your shit for a while. I just subscribed to your shit too, bro.
Well, here we are, you guys. Now, over the last couple of days, a lot of you guys have been in my comments asking me, yo, Chicks, is Joe Budden gonna speak on academics on his podcast? Will Joe Budden be brave enough to actually touch on it? Pause, by the way. And I'll be honest with you guys. I did not have any faith that Joe Budden was going to speak on the issues that academics has going on. Over the last couple of years, it seems like Joe Budden and academics have a pact where, hey, if I got some shit going on in the media, don't talk about it, don't post it, and I'll be sure to return the same favor back to you. If you got some ish going on in the media, I'm not going to talk about it on my podcast, and we're good. And also, over the weekend, somebody asked Joe while he was on Twitter Spaces, hey, big dog, is there any chance that you would talk about the academics grooming allegations on your podcast? Now, this was on Saturday, January 25th. And the way Joe answered it made it seem like he was not going to speak on it. Here's what Joe said.
It wasn't on my docket, if that's what you're asking me.
Man, I don't know.
That's messy.
He gang, but the shit was kind of messy.
Remember, blessed space, Joe. Blessed space.
Well, no. Let's stay here for a second, because I like when people do this. The whole, you're gonna touch on this on the pod?
You got a strong voice, that's why.
Actually, I kind of got introduced to your community through his everyday struggle. So,
okay.
I just want to see, like, what's the temperature? Like, I'm saying, it ain't look like it was too bad, but just didn't know your thoughts on it.
We gotta see. We gotta see what's going on. I had to have this talk with my dad yesterday because his wife knows how to use the internet. Joey, did you see what happened with academics?
Oh, man.
Oh, man. But I don't typically like speaking on none of that stream, chat, back, dark, Discord shit that
Joe.
y'all got going on over there.
Nah, we ain't trying to hear that.
Yeah, it get a little weird.
We ain't trying to hear that.
Yeah, that's not mine. That's not my region.
Speak on it.
That's for y'all.
You speak on everything.
I heard his apology, though.
But, surprise, after the news came out today that DJ Academics was banned on Twitch, the story then became too unavoidable.
It says DJ Academics has been banned on Twitch. Really? Interesting. I say it's interesting because sometimes these guys, like, they say certain things that, a lot of times, they say certain stuff, and I be like, wait, y'all gonna let that fly? Ain't nobody gonna say nothing about that? Oh, this a different world we live in. So to see that certain platforms is actually starting to ban him and hold him accountable is somewhat surprising. But
for Joe Budden not to talk about it on his podcast. And while Joe was talking about the Academics Twitch ban, he also went on to call out DJ Academics for having that very inappropriate conversation with the 15-year-old boy Noor. Here's what Joe said.
They're saying Ack has been permanently banned from Twitch.
I saw that.
I just saw that, yeah.
They also saying that Steak unfollowed him. I haven't fact-checked these things, but just a quick peruse on the phone said that just now.
Damn. Wow.
Yikes.
That's ugly.
that got silent. Thoughts?
What does banned from Twitch mean?
Can't stream, can't do
That's
nothing.
it. You're done.
You could ban me from using Twitch?
It's a platform.
Yes.
Yeah, to take your account.
But the account that
No,
that
but
you,
he had, I think, some type of special
Yeah.
deal with them.
the account you,
And I've had to deal with Twitch, and it's in that contract where they can. There's certain shit if any of this happened.
What I will say about that, actually, he put on a master class in how to not handle something. He did eventually come around
yeah.
and
Yeah, I
say
heard
the
he
right
was
things
tripping
and
out.
apologize, and I was wrong, and we got to be held accountable, and us streamers have a large audience, so we got to love the kids and be kind. He did all of that, but it was
After the fact.
It was after he said some other things, and part of the other things was, what the fuck y'all gonna do? Cancel me? You can't.
Can't cancel something that you didn't help build.
Which
so you didn't build.
I guess might be true if you're talking
Yes, you
about
can.
fans, but it's not true when you're talking about companies. You can ask the Fresh and Fit when they got demonetized
Oh, I
off of
can't stand them.
YouTube, and like it's a thing. So you
Shit,
buy-
Ye said that. Adidas, what they gonna do? They can't get rid of me.
Hey. Tread carefully.
But he ended up,
I'm just
Tread
saying, companies, I
carefully,
wouldn't
my
go around
boy.
challenging companies.
Right.
I wouldn't be double daring companies to cancel me.
and the companies react off the people.
yeah.
Enough noise making.
Enough of that noise. Y'all
Yeah,
think
he's
that these
my
companies
guy.
are not reading tweets and checking the temperament on some of them contracts they got? You are wrong.
You know,
Let me be the one to tell you.
There's a bigger message here, and I fuck with Axe, so I'm gonna be mindful.
Yeah.
That's the downside to
Careful
having
what
that
you
kind
say.
of stand culture fan. The downside is they standing for whatever your action is. So if it's bad and they put enough noise on it, the people that you in bed with that wouldn't have seen it, they see it. Now, go ahead. What are you saying, Flip?
No, so the bigger message is that, how, because they use the certain words like grooming and stuff like that. They're just using these words that is foreign to us. And I hate to say where we come from or how we grew up, and not making an excuse.
What?
But you are a product of your environment, meaning that when it comes to teenage boys or whatever, we encourage them to, yo, get that girl or do that. We had those conversations. It's been like that since the older niggas around me did it with me. I did it with my son. You know what I mean? Not saying that it's right. It is wrong. Now
I'm gonna be honest. Listen, when people say stuff like this,
wrong, then what?
hold on. When people say stuff like this, I can't relate. Now, granted, I was out the crib at like 13, 14 years old. I was never around nobody that was older than me, pushing me or tempting me to mess with females. I was interested in females at a young age because of the internet. It wasn't restricted to me. I was watching porn at like 12, 13, you know what I mean? But I introduced myself to that. So when people say stuff like what Flip just said, this was done to us as youngins and this and that, like, you, that's not a general statement because all of us wasn't raised like that. And it does not lend credence to this topic on academics and this 15-year-old. So honestly, I really don't even know why he brought it up. Flip just be talking the talk sometimes.
I'm acknowledging that it's wrong, but I'm saying that it's not
You
foreign. That behavior. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not new. You know what I mean? Like, if of course,
Great.
that's what I'm saying. I think it's wrong.
So we're
100%.
in a place today where that behavior is being checked and people are being educated on things.
And I agree.
I think
then there's
But you have to learn it.
I
There
think
are
that's a great
consequences. Yeah, and you have to learn in real time. See, everybody act like they smart and they fucking overnight they learn how to abide by society rules and shit like that and what's right and wrong. You have to learn in real time when you're taught something, especially niggas from the Caribbean.
Yo, man, you sound like you making excuses for this nigga, because I heard the conversation. You don't need to be learning in real time to not talk to a 15-year-old about what he was talking to that young boy about. And it's just so crazy, bro. It's so salacious, right? I found myself getting a little angry because I got a 15-year-old little brother. I got siblings in general, right? Younger siblings. And you find yourself like, bro, you saying these things to a kid. You shouldn't have to learn to not do that, right? Certain things should just come as common knowledge. I know they say common sense isn't always common, but where are you from? Where's academics from that he thought that it for a millisecond that it was okay to talk to this kid like that? I don't understand what this flip talking about. Sometimes you gotta learn what. Not to ask a young kid, I wouldn't even repeat it, but listen, y'all go ahead and do your due diligence and look into it if y'all really want to hear the conversation. But once you hear it, you will understand that it ain't no, you got to be taught to not say these type of things. Like, what? Flip, you crazy. I hope Joe checking.
Like, these things are, like, you have to acknowledge that nobody wants to go to the source of things. They just want to point and laugh and blame. And I'm not saying anything with Ack. I'm not even co-signing them.
Ack was wrong.
You sound like
100% wrong.
Dead wrong.
100% wrong. Period. Point blank, especially if the young man is saying what he's saying. I've seen things like that. That's what I'm saying. I've seen
And
it.
it's cool to be wrong and then go sit with it by yourself.
Yeah, don't be wrong and strong. That's what.
Or if you want to be wrong and strong, you don't have to put a camera on.
Got it.
You don't have to live stream you in your learning process.
Got it, yeah.
You don't. You could take that. You could take that privately. His brand is not speaking to 15-year-old boys like that.
No.
Correct.
I'm talking about, you said you don't have to learn in real time with the camera on. I think that's part of his brand, though. Whatever I'm experiencing or whatever I'm talking about,
that's what I'm saying.
I have to cut the camera on. Like, again, this is a different generation. They don't know how to turn the cameras off.
Unlearn it.
And you learn
Unlearn it. I'm not here to fucking preach.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to preach to nobody. It's difficult to unlearn things.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So if that is a habit and a tendency where, hey, I'm living my life in front of the camera, so they're just going to see it. I invented that, actually. And where some of us come from, to me, is not an excuse to groom. Like to say, I don't really know what that is. Okay, I understand that and I receive that. I ain't going to pretend like I really knew all the ins and outs about what grooming is either. But I also identified that there's plenty of grown men running around here not knowing that they were abused. As an adult, I would hope you learn, listen, you shouldn't, this is wrong. This is wrong.
That's the underlying part right there. Like,
so if you crack a joke,
a
joke and ask your 17-year-old brothers, yo, you fucking girls yet?
I'm not cracking a joke. That's not a joke. I'm asking my little brothers what's happening with you sexually.
Right.
It's not a joking matter.
So that,
and if the 15-year-old is sitting there telling you, hey, this is wrong, this is grooming, I'm
15.
uncomfortable, you're going to put us in a case.
Even the young boy knew that.
Then it's probably the time.
Now, props to Joe for not shying away from having that conversation. Joe did not change the topic. He did not throw in random hypotheticals. He also was not trying to play devil's advocate with that conversation. And I'll be honest with you guys, I was actually very surprised that Joe kept it real. If you guys look around, a lot of your favorite media personalities are not speaking on it, or they'll quickly change the topic to something irrelevant. It's okay to come out and say, yo, Ack was dead wrong. I believe even Academics himself came out on stream and said, hey, if anybody wants to call me out for being dead wrong, that's fine. I'll take that. I know I was wrong. Just imagine if this was somebody like Drake that was caught on recording talking to a 15-year-old.
Yo, listen, this dude can't catch a break. This dude, Drake, he can't catch a break. He's in every conversation. He has nothing to... Yo, he is not remotely close to this topic. I mean, this situation that Academics is in. And for some reason, yo, he still comes up in the conversation. It's so funny. He took such a whooping. What would I say? Wop wop. This dude took such a beating that he comes up in almost every negative conversation I watch on YouTube. It's hilarious. You can't escape it. And what is that? Is that fingernail polish? Drake, you going out bad, my guy. You going out bad.
Like this. Every single media personality in the world will be doing a 24/7 live stream. I know it's gotta be tough when you're trying to maintain a relationship with somebody and some wild shit like this happens. But no matter what, you gotta have integrity and morals and call a spade a spade. Listen, man, you guys get in the comments below. What do you guys think about Joe Budden addressing the academics conversation with Noor? Post your comments below. Subscribe to my channel, like this video. I'll see you guys later, man.
All right. Yeah, so that's it on that. You know, it was a lot of people talking about it. So I'm pretty sure they're covering it all over YouTube. I'm supposed to have a special guest on today, chiming in with us. I'm waiting to get the green light that he's ready, and then we're gonna bring him in. It's actually my brother, and you know, cause me and him been connoisseurs of music and hip hop in general, or hip hop / music in general for you know, all our lives. So I respect his opinion, and it's actually a few people that I've been wanting to bring on here, and really just like hear their insight on exactly everything that's going on. This my man Charles Brown. This is I like his content. But it says Rory and Mal are soft. Let me hear what he's talking about.
Rory and Mal are soft.
Okay. Where you going at with this?
What up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again, talking facts. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those cash outs to CLBMG. I appreciate you, gang. Listen, Rory and Mal have fallen from grace, and it has not been as long as it may seem. I want to say 2 years, 3 tops, that Rory and Mal have taken what was a promising career in podcasting and streaming and have almost single-handedly shown us how to not do this YouTubing thing that has become an official job. Remember when YouTubing was like a niche? Now this is a job. You can do this from 9 to 5. If you wake up at 9 in the morning and stop at 5, you can literally finance your life with this.
Interesting.
I'm just going to be honest. But
that's what I'm being told.
Rory and Mal forgot what they were supposed to be doing with this newfound opportunity to create videos.
Yo,
and they've taken
just him saying that, right? My man, I was talking to somebody that I went to middle school with last night, and he texted me because I told him, yeah, listen, I'm getting into, you know, the whole content space now, and I really want to dive deep into it. Pause. And he hit me back and he said, yo, it's crazy. Content creation is perfect for you. He said, even when we was in school, you was creatively ahead of your time. And I don't know, like that stuck out to me because you'd be surprised at people's outlook on you. And, you know, we are our own worst critic at times, pretty much all the time. So whereas though it's like, it took me to fester up the, I don't want to say courage, but to fester up the, just the thought in general of doing this, when all along, you know, somebody that like I said, went to middle school with said that he always seen this in me. So it's just crazy. I say all that to say, like, you know, don't be scared to step out your comfort zone. You feel what I'm saying? Don't be scared to go ahead and you know, take a swing at something, because you never know. You might have had it in you all along. So,
what was, in essence, a wave of graciousness that people gave them after they left the Joe Budden show so unceremoniously. I was a early defender of Rory and Mal. Didn't even know much about him. I just knew that I had my own issues, well-documented issues about Joe Budden. I'm just going to be honest. If you are a Joe Budden fan, make no mistake, I am not a friend of Joe Budden, but I am considering forgiving him, and that's going to be a video in the future. I had one of my friends come up, really concerned, like, why don't you like, what's wrong? What's the issue with you and Joe Budden? It's a long story, gang, and I'm gonna talk about it in another video. But when Budden let these two go, I thought it was a sucker move, because the way he did it, when he fired them while they were they were on a suspension, I guess, or what have you, and it was a whole mess. You remember, it was just a mess, and they came back to the pod, sat there completely. It was the most uncomfortable thing. Mal is being Mal, and Rory's trying to be the peacemaker, and they did a whole episode. You could tell nothing was healed. These guys were still mad. Well, more so Mal. Mal's like, I can't forgive you for that. Da, da, da. They tried to talk it out and make it like it was cool, and then after that, they fully left. They were talking lawyers, and we you know, he owes us money. We want our money, right? It was a whole thing, right? If you go back, way back into my content in the beginning, I was a Rory and Mal supporter. As a matter of fact, my channel in the beginning was a Rory and Mal, almost anti-Joe Budden channel, and I started to get a lot of subscribers because of that.
Really?
But I didn't want to keep doing Rory and Mal content. First of all, I was like, I don't want to talk about these dudes every day. People would come to my stuff. At the time, Joe Budden was the enemy. So people would come to my channel just for the Joe Budden content. And I was like, I don't want to just do Joe Budden. I'm not going to be one of these channels. I could have blew up quicker a long time ago if I became like a point and shoot type of channel, or somebody who just every time Budden podcast went up, I would just go through and break down the negative stuff. I could have had 100,000 subscribers by now, but I don't want to be that kind of channel. I don't want to just nonstop focus on one topic and just ride that wave. I don't hate Joe Budden enough to, I don't hate him. I don't hate anyone. So I don't want to sit there every day and just make content. Right? Even now, I'm not going to just sit and make one kind of content. I could sit every day and just nonstop talk about Drake and just be 250,000 subscribers I can wake up every morning and do Drake.
But I tell you, this dude has nothing to do with this conversation. Out of nowhere, Drake just comes up. It's ridiculous.
Videos, and my channel would go through the roof. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just not trying to be that kind of commentator. Right? That's easy. I could, if I didn't care, I would do that all day. I would already have a 250,000 subscribers, Charles, and have people in my comments every day. Just talk about Drake every single morning. That's easy.
To the point, Charles.
I don't want to do that. I'm going to talk about different things because I think about different things.
Yeah.
I'm not a one-trick pony. If people come to my channel because they enjoy my content, they're going to know this guy has more than one thing he's going to be talking about. I might be talking about battle rap one day. I might talk about Remy Ma. I got a Remy Ma video coming up. I might be talking about Snoop Dogg. I might be talking about Rory and Mal, right? Who are soft and completely butter soft. And when I used to think that they were worthy of this adjustment,
call these niggas
being
margin
sidekicks to frontmen, which I said in the beginning, I said they're going to need at least one, if not two co-hosts. I said it from day one. I said I'm rooting for Rory and Mal to make it. I don't like how Joe Budden treated them. It was mad unfair, and you could clearly see that Budden blows up everything. Everything he gets, he blows it up. And he hasn't blown this one up yet with Ish and this and that. But he's tried. You've seen it. If you paying attention, he tried. Some guys, they get suspended, these blow ups and da da da. I don't know what happened, but they found a way to just not walk off. And they figured out something, and he's figured out a way to balance this thing where they don't just get up and just leave one day, or they get fired, da da da. But he's blown up he blew up Everyday Struggle. He blew up the podcast several times. People have gotten fired from, remember the girl they fired from home? So it's not an easy place to work, right? But somehow they still manage. And when Rory and Maul, some people disagree, and a lot of people go in my comments to this day and say, now I see why Budden did what he did. But at the time, I want to say 75, 80% said Budden was wrong. So I was one of these people that was very, get him, Maul, get him, Rory. I was on their side. I was rocking with Rory and Maul. And I say all that to say this. I literally unfollowed them. I unfollowed them both on Twitter. I unfollowed them both on YouTube. And you want to say, why, Charles? Why would you unfollow them if you was rocking with them? Because first of all, I don't like when I can't trust you.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say I can't trust you, when I know that something is A, B, and C, and you have alliances and allegiances that will make you say, nah, it's D, it's E, no matter how...
I ain't even gonna lie, Charles. You talking a little too much for me, buddy, old pal. I know what you talking about, though. So apparently they fired the guy, Julian. I don't know if y'all familiar with Rory and Maul. But they had a guy on there named Julian that was working. I'm not too familiar with it, but apparently they fired him. And they was on here taking shots at each other.
Rory, Maul, and Julian are all taking shots at each other, and it's happening on each of their podcasts, and they're getting insanely personal, and this breakup has went all the way left. So for those of you that don't know, Julian was fired from the Rory and Maul podcast around the end of 2024 in December. And ever since then, all parties have been at odds, going on their respective spaces, literally on Twitter spaces.
This is Danny from the stop,
and talking
by the
about
way,
what
y'all.
happened. Well, as of now, both sides have went on their podcast and addressed the situation in different ways. And here's what Rory and Maul had to say.
Oh, I'm always laugh. They want me to laugh. Though you don't want me to do nothing but laugh.
First of all, your laughing emoji is my version of space.
Yo, did y'all know that Maul was the little brother of his big brother is Biggs, Kareem, third owner of Rockefeller Records. So you know how you got Jay, Damon, Biggs. His big brother is Biggs. I didn't know that. I found that out today.
What am I going to do? I'm going to start going back and forth with these nondescript. I'm not doing that. You get caught up in this cycle of, he said, she said, and he responded, she responded, and he responded to the respawn, and this.
And
I don't think that's what this is supposed to be, though. I just think it's kind of corny and kind of played out to have these back and forths on platforms and that. It's like we know the situation. I know that sometimes public perception can be twisted and altered a little bit by people saying things. But so what? Even if we go out and do a 2-hour spaces and talk about everything, there's still gonna be people that still believe whatever they want to believe.
Of course, you're rarely changing anyone's mind.
You're not changing. So what am I? Why would I waste my time? Everything that I said was gonna happen, come to fruition, and play out. The way
Some flowers there for sure.
I just love seeing that. That's why I was laughing.
And as you can see, Maul is essentially just saying, I'm not going to address it. But if you kind of do the signs, it seems like Maul doesn't like that Rory is going on spaces to talk about the situation, because he's saying things like, why would I do 2-hour spaces? And you know who's doing 2-hour spaces about the subject? Rory. Rory is going on spaces talking about the situation with Julian. I ain't mad at it. Keep joining those spaces, buddy. But Julian was not a shrinking violet himself, as he would send shots at Rory, because Rory was really critical about Julian appearing on stages with Joe Budden, saying that, hey man, you were taking shots about Joe's domestic violence cases, and then you're on stage with him. And Julian would go on his pod and say, well, you did a whole podcast with him, so you're a bit hypocritical. He would say that right here.
And I wanted to direct this next part to Rory. You sat next to him for years, him meeting Joe. And back then, we knew all that we know now. And I'm alluding to the DV and all the stuff that you have also said you believe is true. But for $40,000 a month, that's kind of where it ended. Like, you were making that kind of money, and the expectation wasn't the same. So then I thought, okay, well, was it because the show was too entertaining? Or was being number one an excuse for Joe's alleged abhorrent
10 bands a
behavior?
week.
And it's tough because it looks like I'm being held to a different standard than you were.
So as you can see, these things are getting insanely personal. I don't think none of these guys are cool anymore. I mean, Rory did try to do the whole, I am cool with Julian, but now the gloves are coming off, and by gloves are coming off, I mean the passive-aggressive barbs are being exchanged. It was funny that Julian was the one that was the most direct, but Rory was the most direct on Spaces, and even Maw's being a little bit passive-aggressive. He's tweeting the time-honored laughing emoji whenever Julian does something. One time he tweeted the laughing emoji when Julian appeared on MySpace to address the breakup. And then he tweeted another laughing emoji today around the same time I dropped the video where Julian accused Rory and Maul. Well, he didn't accuse Rory and Maul of firing him because he asked for a raise. He basically said that he believes that's what happened. But let me know what you think in the comments. Do you feel like either side is representing themselves well, or do you feel like all of these people are doing a terrible job of handling this? I mean, I don't even know. It's hard to handle podcasts. Most podcasts will break up, man. It's just that easy to. It's really.
Let me tell you what's funny. You see this right here? I don't know. It just crossed my mind, right? I'm surprised Joe don't get paid for this new Rory and Maul, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, that was their drop. It used to be like, "This is Joe. This is Joe. New Rory and Maul. This is Parks. This is Parks." That was the drop. So the fact that, first of all, the show is no longer new now, so I don't even know why new is part of their brand name, New Rory and Maul. But just knowing, or at least allegedly knowing how petty Joe is running, regarding business, I'm surprised that he is not coming after them for a check for this name, although it is their name. I'm just surprised. Rory sitting here with this damn dog in his lap. That is a nice dog. It's probably very expensive. I don't know. I just don't think that. First of all, please don't get it twisted. I am very, very, very new in this content space. I'm not new when it comes to creativity. Like I said, I've been writing music since I was 7 years old. I'll be 34 this year. I do not believe that they branded themselves the best, if I'm being honest. And I think that's why their brand is seemingly plummeting. I'm hoping that I'm wrong, because nobody wants to see, or at least me personally,
Rory and Maul are
like
soft.
I want to see people I want to see people win at every facet of their life. So whether it's doing content, whether it's in the corporate world, whether it's entrepreneurial goals, I want to see people win. So I hope that's not the case, that they're plummeting, but it would seem so. Yeah, so just a little bit of context, y'all. When I come in here, normally it's after I just got done working. So sometimes I'm a little bit tired, and I don't always have the energy to do a whole. I would love to get up to at least an hour of doing these reactions, and because once I get into my own content, I would like to give y'all a good bit of watching time. So I'll get better at this, but and I said I wanted to have a special guest on today. I must say, The Walking Dead is really, that's my, I'm staring at Rick on the screen right now. And it reminded me, The Walking Dead is, to me, the greatest television show ever created. It's still going on. And I'm going to get into some of that content as well, because, I have so many thoughts on that show. And that's kind of, out of all of this here, what I'm the most experienced at watching. Not speaking on hip hop, of course, but speaking of, just the content space in general. The Walking Dead is really where it's at for me. So yeah, again, Puny Humans platform. Please like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. Come on over to the page. The larger that we build, the more it'll free up time in my regular life and give me time to, drop more on here, and actually award me the luxury of making the content that I would like to create. So again, this is another episode of, oh, that's cool. I guess I can call it that. Yeah, this episode. So technically, this would be episode 3. But yeah, another episode of the Puny Humans. Again, I'm your host, True Victor. You know what's crazy? I want to get into doing voiceovers. Like my whole life, I've been told that I have a great voice, and I can project it very well. Being on a mic, like I said, I've been doing music for forever. Being on a mic really helps me with voice projection. And if y'all know anybody, start coaching me, getting me more geared towards. Eventually, I'm gonna be getting into acting too. I'm taking this leap. I'm definitely taking this leap. So and I would like to keep y'all on this journey with me, because this is only the beginning. And what I've learned is, when you build that support early on, it tends to give you a more structured support foundation when you get further along your path. So, come on in, have a seat, stay along for the ride, because where we going is it's unimaginable. So again, yes, episode 3, Puny Humans. I am your host, True Victor. We out of here. Also with the Warsaw.